Just a little update. It's Sunday. All I did today was get dressed and go to church, and honestly, it took everything out of me. I slept actually really well last night, but I didn't go to bed until around midnight, and I woke up around, I want to say 7:38. But yeah, being out of the house was really exhausting, especially with this hanging, because there's no like comfortable way for me to kind of like carry this around. I did have it tucked like in my shirt at one point, but yeah, it's just a lot, like holding this in one hand and then holding my cane and then adjusting when you go to sit down and then get in, yeah, the standing, and it just felt really overstimulating. I am kind of concerned that I am allergic to this stuff. It's just the Kate Farms, and I'm pretty sure it's elemental. There's like no dairy, no gluten, no soy, no literally anything, and it's all just like broken down stuff. But it is made from real ingredients, so I should actually go through the whole list on the back and see what's in there that I'm allergic to. But I can just feel it. I could tell when I was at church pushing it through and started to get really fatigued and dizzy. It's just a different kind of fatigue than like, oh, I didn't sleep, or oh, I've done a lot of physical activity today. There's like a specific allergic reaction fatigue that I get, so it kind of felt like that. I'm gonna keep trying it and praying, because it was going pretty well yesterday, but also, I mean, yesterday was the first day all week that I was able to just lay in bed, so that is different, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm really tired. I'll probably fall asleep here soon, but for now, just watching TV and trying to stay comfortable.
It would be the best version ever. Being electric means the car is going to be bigger.
Phones that do not need a controller to get is like this like super crazy lesson, and like it's not all about the Mamba mentality. Those of you that didn't know, Marquez is a big fan of the office dog as a concept, and he's already 21 stand hours. This is my second take of this video. Actually, Marquez says he can name every county in New Jersey in alphabetical order. Would you like to bless us, Marquez?
Middlesex, Monmouth, Morris, Ocean, Passaic, Salem, Somerset, Sussex. Okay, so speaking of Switch 2, the situation around pre-orders with it.
I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not. It's day 4 of me having this tube. Still no pump, which is just fantastic. And that's pretty much what I was gonna say calling. That's what I'm filming to update you guys on after fighting with everybody and their mom, it seems like, about having like gotten this and not having home health care set up. You guys heard the phone conversation a couple vlogs ago where I literally asked the scheduling person, like, what should I expect? What am I actually leaving with? You know, here's my preferred home health care provider, and she basically told me they'll handle all of that at discharge. That's clearly not what happened, and yeah, it's just been a little crazy. I was fine going through the weekend because communicating with my original general surgeon's like front desk and nurse it sounded like they had it handled, that they were writing the order, that they were going to send it out. And so I kept checking in with them, like, is it in yet? Do you, like, what information do you need? Like, basically, why is it taking so long? And yesterday they told me that they sent it. I gave it a few hours and then called the home healthcare company, and the lady who has my case at Option Care was like, we just got it in, let me take a look at it and try to run it through insurance, and I'll call you back. I didn't hear from her for the rest of the day, which I kind of expected. And then she called me today and said that everything that the surgeon's office sent over was basically super vague in general, but the person at Option Care was like, none of my labs were sent in. They called the surgeon themselves, and he told them that he doesn't really do this kind of stuff, meaning the enteral, like feeding, let alone sending in orders. You are the one that sent in the order for the tube. How misleading is it that you would tell me that you could put in the order for the tube if that was literally all you were gonna do? If you were gonna wipe your hands clean and say, I don't know how to do the rest of this. If that was the case, he shouldn't have committed to even sending in the order for this. It just was so frustrating. So not only that, but Option Care said that she was like, have you seen a registered dietitian? I was like, nope. Because my understanding was, not only was I confused about the whole process, and I feel like I've said this 100 times, but I'm constantly left in the position of mediator between my doctors, and this felt like something that shouldn't have been so fragmented. So not only was I confused about having to go back and ask him to write the orders, right? Because they should have already been, like, that should have come with the territory of ordering the tube placement. But to then, like, also not have been given a referral to a dietitian. My understanding was, like, with home healthcare in general, because I've looked into this before, specifically for just like palliative care. My health has been getting bad for quite a while. So even before the gastroparesis diagnosis, the reason my PCP ordered the gastric emptying study was because I was telling her about all of these problems I was having, and was telling her I was interested in palliative care. I needed a centralized team or plan of action for how we're going to deal with my pain and, like, yeah, just my debilitating conditions that are only getting worse. So that's how this all started. So I'm a little familiar with how home healthcare is supposed to work. Knowing that he hadn't put in a referral for a dietitian, at least, or my assumption was, since he hadn't either put in the order for the home healthcare company, when scheduling told me that that was going to be something that the hospital did on discharge from my scan, my understanding was that I would literally be sitting with the doctor who put my tube placement in, because it was done through interventional radiology. It's not a general surgery. It's not their scope of practice. So my understanding was I would sit with the interventional radiologist, talk about home health care, they would send the order in, and then home health care would have a doctor and a dietitian that I would be talking to. And then those would be the people who would, like, put in the orders for my rate, and, you know, that I need a pump because it's an NJ tube. I can't do bolus feeds, which is where you just, like, put liquid in the syringe without this piece and you just let gravity do its job. Can't do that to your intestines. So I just had a lot of understandings and assumptions and misconceptions, and every question I had along the way, it seemed like nobody could answer my questions. So yeah, the lady at Option Care had asked me if I'd seen a registered dietitian. I told her no, and she was like, yeah, we need notes from a registered dietitian as well, and we need your actual like report from the NJ2 placement, like the post-op report. And the surgeon told her that he didn't have access to that either because he's out of network, which is complete BS, because since he ordered it, they send it directly back to him. It's in my UC Health, my chart. Yes, it was done by UC Health, but they send that stuff back to him because he's the ordering provider. At this point, I'm frustrated, I'm fed up. I definitely cried like 3 different times. Cause yeah, again, like, God bless friends who unfortunately also have experienced, you know, having an NJ2, having gastroparesis, and so I have supplies, but it's also not my friend's job to like be my supplier. That's what the healthcare system is for. And ultimately, doing it like this is not sustainable. It would have been fine if it was just the weekend, but now it's for the foreseeable future, and that's not only super scary, but uncomfortable, again, frustrating. So I called the second general surgeon, who is in UC Health, and I just left a voicemail for their nurses line that I needed a referral to a registered dietitian. He called me back a few hours later, of course, like after I'd heard from Option Care, and like, you know, was like freaking out about how the heck I'm gonna get these orders in and like who's gonna do all of that. I explained the situation to him, and he told me that I should not have been let go without home healthcare setup. I actually shouldn't have been let go from interventional radiology at all. The standard protocol is for me to spend a day at the hospital so that they can trial feeds, make sure it works for me. That's when they set up home healthcare, and then they discharge me. So it was like, the way it was done was insane, and that it shouldn't have happened that way. He just kept saying like, I'm so sorry you're in this position, I'm sorry you went through that. He was super sweet, and also frustrated on my behalf, and then frustrated because, you know, he was essentially saying that the first surgeon should not have ordered the 2 placement if he wasn't going to follow through with my care. So now he started a mess that UC Health surgeons would have to clean up, and he was like, they're not going to be happy about that. But he said he kind of just like didn't really know what to do or what to recommend, so he was like, I'm gonna make a few calls on my end and see like what we should do or what you know, I could recommend that you do. So I just, you know, said thank you, and like, I appreciate it. I'm exhausted. My body is fighting through a lot. Yeah, and I just, yeah, don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't know if, you know, he's gonna recommend, like, if they're gonna recommend that I like go to the ER and get admitted from there. The good thing is that I did get it placed at UC Health, so it's a little more likely that UC Health staff or doctors are able to kind of play cleanup crew. I'm just hoping that they'll, yeah, just try to resolve this. It is their fault, and it isn't. Like, the surgeon who put the order in should be the one following my care. However, also, I asked all the questions. I emailed, you know, the radiology liaison. She was like, that's out of my scope of practice. I emailed care coordination. I called care coordination like 3 different times and got their voicemail every single time. Left voicemails and got no calls back. And so, you know, I did everything that I could. And again, it was the system that like let me fall through the cracks, and so that's frustrating. Definitely keep you guys updated, but that's where I am right now. I just need to wipe my makeup off and then I'm going to bed. I got to play the piano a little bit tonight. I'll insert clips if I haven't already. It's been a long day, to say the least. It's like 10. I don't know what I'm looking for, but it's like 10 o'clock. I've been up since 5 this morning because I had to go to Denver for another appointment, and then came home, tried to make a few more phone calls, and just still couldn't really get a hold of anybody when it comes to my tube and getting orders to home health care. It's day 5 with the tube now, and yeah, I don't know, I'm so frustrated and overwhelmed. I'm like out of thoughts at this point, but I had to check myself into the ER earlier just to speak with case management and even slightly get things hopefully bridged. But I started filming now because after the day I've had, yeah, I just have insanely incredible friends. I have a friend that went to the ER with me and put up with all my word vomit, ranting. Mind you, I just saw her last night. She dropped off a couple of things for me that another friend had ordered, and just to help me kind of get through these next couple days. Then I went to the ER today because after the phone calls I made, it just didn't sound like I was gonna get anywhere, at least not within the next week. And I am down to 1 bottle of formula. So I'm filming now at 10 p.m. because yet again another friend came through, and I now have an entire case of formula and more syringes. Yeah, I don't know if anything that I'm saying is making sense or slightly cohesive. I have less than a 12th of a brain right now, but the moral of the story is community is so important, and I've vouched for this for forever, but I think God is just constantly, very gently and graciously reminding me that I literally don't have to do it alone. And as someone who is used to doing things alone and going through things alone. I think it will just never get old to see like how people are willing and able to just show up for me. And I feel like if you're not in the enteral feeding world, you may not truly understand, but like this stuff is expensive, much like all other medical supplies. Like it's not a small feat at all. So yeah, it's just been a really long, frustrating day. It's been a really long, frustrating week and year and last 6 to 8 months. But it's moments like these where I do have to like just step back and really appreciate the ways that God provides, even when I'm stubborn, even when I stop asking for it, even when I get too impatient to wait for his response. Like he is constantly coming through, and yeah, I really appreciate that. So happy day 6 with the tube. It's Thursday. I've been on and off up for a couple hours. I think I got up the first time at like 7 something. Called my mom, talked to her for a little bit, and then turned my rain sounds back up and rolled right back over. It was definitely nice to sleep in, because the past 2 days I've had to get up early, and I do have a migraine. And I think I was grinding my teeth last night because my jaw hurts so bad, and it's like my whole, like up through my sinuses. I didn't wear my retainer either, so definitely my fault. But yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. I also slept wrong, like as far as my shoulder, so somebody's gonna have to work that out at some point. I don't know when, because I just had injections, and I don't have my next round until my steroid injections, I think, in a week, next Friday, maybe. I'm like low-key, high-key in a good mood today, despite everything that's going on. Honestly, like not only was it nice to like just sleep in and like feel calm, but just now, like as I got out of bed, I looked like back down at my med cart and just seeing all of the formula and the new syringes and stuff. Like obviously there's still so much more than I need, and I'm still fighting with care coordination and trying to get that figured out. But like again, like to have a God that provides is honestly just so like I can't look at that and like not acknowledge how grateful I am for that. So yeah, I just feel that feels like my version of wealth right now. That's wealth for me right now. Honestly, like the devil has really been trying me, and I just want to say that he's a scumbag and a loser, and that's why he's coming for me, because I'm royalty. I'm a child of the king. He's mad, and like you just have to laugh at that, because he's bored and useless and yeah, has no, this is his job, to try and make people as miserable as he is. And honestly, like I've done my whining, I've done my complaining, I've done my grieving, and Jesus has sat with me through all of it. But I'm just in this moment right now. It might change, you know, in a few hours. It might change tomorrow. I may have another moment of despair or distress or frustration, but regardless, like yeah, I cannot stoop down to his level of misery because I have a God that provides so much, and it doesn't mean it's not gonna be hard, obviously, but like, yeah, the other side is bright. This side is bright, because good things and hard things can exist at the same time. So yeah, the devil's a loser. He's probably gonna try to pop me in the mouth for saying that, but I'm doubling down. He sucks. I'm winning. You see this crown? Yeah. It's very itchy, needs to be washed crown. Nonetheless, this crown that has come from my Father in heaven, shiny, polished. The devil's mad. He's a hater, and I couldn't care less. I have so much to do today. We'll see how much I accomplish before I either take a nap or just get back in my bed. Yeah, my nose is so itchy and my throat hurts. So yeah, I'll try to keep taking you guys along today. Oh, I have some dishes to do. So I'll bring you and do that, and I'll refill my syringes, and yeah, just try to keep up on all the things. But it'll be great. Be a good day. I need to find one of my Nurtec tablets. upgraded to adult status. I hit the age where I wear red lipstick to a meeting at that. Like, this is crazy, I feel like. Yeah, this really just feels like I've, you know, I'm here, I'm in my bag, how they say. I'm about to get on my internship meeting, and I just want to go over some of the work that I did like last week. I wanted to do this meeting in the living room, and realistically I still could. I just didn't want to like have any problems if my roommates came home, and I really don't feel like I don't feel like wearing my earbuds. So basically last week I like went through I was given like 14 different clients to go through their chart of accounts and like do some cleaning up, and I finished pretty much all of them except one, and the one that I didn't finish, it's just like minor things. And actually that committee specifically we no longer work with, but yeah, it's just like kind of like a playground for me to just go through and mess around in QuickBooks and try to make the chaos that is their chart of accounts match our template as much as possible. So yeah, anyways, I don't know if any of that made sense. I don't know why I just explained that, but it's fun for me. So my meeting starts in 10 minutes. I'm literally just gonna take the next 5 minutes to go back through that stuff, and then I'll join the meeting. Stuff like this, like as exhausted as I am, as weird as my throat feels, as dizzy as I am, like getting to do things that I like actually enjoy help me feel a little more normal and functional. So it's also nice that I get to do this from my house. Weird inception, is that what it's called? This also looks so weird. Inception moment. I'm currently editing this vlog. The meeting went great. I also had therapy today, telehealth this time so that I didn't have to leave, but clearly still feeding. Almost done with this syringe. It should actually be done in the next like hour-ish. And then I'll refill. It's 6 o'clock. I was debating going to crew tonight. I would still have time if I decided to, because it doesn't start till 7, but I think I'm gonna stay in the house because I'm on my way to sleep. So yeah, I was able to eat a couple chicken fingers. Probably definitely done for the rest of the night. I do want some juice. I'm just such a juice head lately. Kind of chilling. I should probably check my blood sugar again. And wipe my makeup off. I'm so tired. Some more YouTube videos to binge. I've been watching the like Scott Evans show, or like his channel, but like the production is so good. It's literally a show. It's Thursday, so I don't have any new Kevin Lang videos. I watched the new episode of Hijack, and I'm watching Shrinking, but it's just one of those shows where you kind of like, I don't know, you have to be in a certain mood to put it on. Plenty of entertainment options. I think The Back of My Eyelids has been my favorite show lately, so I might just resume whatever season we're on. That's it. I just wanted to check in. Sometimes it feels weird when like I'm vlogging a day, but it's like super choppy and I don't necessarily finish the day. Nothing exciting, but I just wanted to close out. And actually, I think I'm gonna finish this whole video because it's getting super long. So I think this is my first outro in a while. Thanks for watching. See you next time.